Hello everyone, welcome to our channel with our first video. But wait, before starting, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Starting with, what does economic mean? To fully understand what does economic mean, we need to understand first what is scarcity. Scarcity is when you have limited resources and unlimited ones. You need more than what you can get. باختصار السكارسيتي هو النقص إن الواحد ما يقدر يحصل كل شيء يريده بسبب limited resources that needs is more than what the resources that we have. Let's have an example. Salim has $500 but he wants to buy laptop and mobile phone. Here Salim resources is money but he can't buy both laptop and mobile phone using just $500. So here $500 is limited resource. Let's have another example. We commonly hear a phrase which says, I don't have time. This is because time is also a limited resource, as we can't do everything we want in only 24 hours. Because we face scarcity, we need to choose. لأن ما نقدر نحصل كل شيء اللي نريده لازم نختار أفضل شيء بين الخيارات. In case of Salim, he needs to choose what to buy. Is it a laptop or a mobile phone? The choice that he make depends on incentive that he have. But what is incentive? Incentive is a reward that encourages an action or it's a penalty that discourages an action. باختصار هو الحافز اللي يشجع الواحد إنه يقوم بعمل معين أو يحبط الشخص إنه ما يقوم بالعمل. In case of Salim, when he was thinking what to choose between a mobile phone and or a laptop, he knew that he will use mobile phone for chatting and playing, whereas he can use the laptop to listen to his lecture, write reports, assignments, and so on. Salim's incentive was to get a high grade, so he chose laptop. After understanding scarcity, choice, and incentives, let's go back to the economic definition. Economic is the social science that studies the choices individual, business, government, and entire societies make as they cope with the scarcity and incentives that influence those choices. Let's summarize it. Economic is a study of choices that everyone make. Individual, business, government, and entire society. They make choices because of scarcity, as they can't get everything. And how do they make their choices? By their incentives. Let's return to Salim's example in economic. We will study Salim's choice. We will analyze it. We will predict it. We will study what will Salim choose and why. Let's revise again the definition. Economic, as we said, is the study of choices that everyone makes and why do they make their choices and how do they choose. Economic divides into two parts, which is microeconomic and macroeconomic. Starting with microeconomics, the word micro means small. So when we say microeconomics means we study in a small scope. We just study individual and business decisions only and their choices. Let's have an example. If the product price changed from $1 to $2, how the increase in price affect the decision of customers? Will they buy more or less? Will they be satisfied or no? But in macroeconomics, the word means big. So when we say macroeconomics means we study in a big scope. We study decisions made by governments and countries. Let's have an example. If the government decided to change the minimum wage from $600 to $325, how this decision affect the unemployment rate? Will the decision help more people to get job or no? And so on. Then let's move to the two big economic questions that summarize the scope of economic. هالسؤالين يوضح لنا بشكل ملخص مجال الإيكونوميك. First question: how do choices ends up determining what, how, and for whom goods um, and services are produced? Which mean how do they choose which product or services to produce, how to produce them, and for whom to produce them. يعني كيف يتم اختيار المنتج أو الخدمة اللي الشركة بتنتجها، أو كيف يتم إنتاجه، ولمن تنتج لأي زبون. First, before we answer this question, we need to understand what does goods and services mean. Good is anything that's tangible, that we can touch it. It's a product. باختصار هو أي منتج ملموس. It can be a toy, pen, shoes, book, drink, and so on. Whereas a service is intangible. It's an action where they serve you. السيرفيس هي الخدمة باختصار، الخدمة الغير ملموسة. Teaching is a service, cleaning is a service, cooking and driving, and so on. Let's return to the question. How do choices end up determining what, how, and for whom goods and services get produced? What? What we produce varies across countries and changes over time. What produced in Saudi Arabia not same as in Indonesia. For example, in Saudi Arabia they prefer driving car, whereas in Indonesia they prefer driving bike. So the preferences and their wants are not exactly same. That's why the and what the company or what we should produce differ across the countries, and also product differs across the time, as what we produce now is not same as what we used to produce before 50 years. Then moving to how we produce the product. We produce the product by using the technologies and resources that help us to produce the goods and services. Resources, when we say resources, we mean factors of production that I will explain later. Then, for whom? Who will consume it? Who will use and buy the goods and services? Who is the target customers? Then, moving to the factors of production. Factors of production are the resources that used to produce the product and services. They are the resources. We have four main factors of production, starting with land. It's a gift of nature. It's a raw material that comes from nature, such as land, surface, mineral, oil, water, air, forest, and fish. باختصار اللاند هو المواد الخام اللي تأتي من الطبيعة مثل الماء، الأرض، الغابة، الأسماك وإلى آخره. Then we have labor, which include all the people who work in the company, farm, office, and so on. The quality of labor depends on their knowledge and skills. And then we have capital. A capital has a broad meaning. It's a tool, machine, vehicle, building, and other constructions that can be used to produce the goods and services. We consider something a capital if it's used and it's helped in producing the product. In another definition, they say that capital is anything that gives value and benefit in producing the product or service. الكابيتال له معاني عدة بس ممكن نختصره بأن أدوات لبناء المنتج أو الخدمة. والتعريف آخر للكابيتال إن أي أداة تفيد صاحبه في إنتاج المنتج. Warning: financial capital is not a factor of production. Financial capital means money, but money is not directly involved in producing the product and services. So when we say capital as a factor of production, we don't mean money. We didn't mean money. Then finally, we have entrepreneurship. The human resources that organize labor, land, and capital is called entrepreneurship. It combines all other factors of production and converts it to product and services. It organizes and combines other factors and help to convert it to the products and services. Those people, which I mean entrepreneurs, they develop new ideas about what and how to produce. They make business decisions and so on. Then moving to second big economic question that summarizes the economic scope. The question is, do choices made in the pursuit of self-interest also promote the social interests? To understand the question, we need to understand what does self-interest mean and what does social interest mean. Self-interest, it's when you make decision because of you. For example, you ordered home delivery pizza because you are hungry, not because delivery man needs a job. In social interest, it's when you make decision because it's best for the society. For example, Ali has a company that gets a monthly profit of 1 million and he pay wages of $40 per hour for his employees, which is more than other companies as they pay $35 per hour. and he sell his product with lower prices than other similar product. He sell it by $15, whereas other similar products are sold by $18. Think about it. Ali's decision to give higher salaries and lower prices is good for the society, so he pursued social interest. Social interest has two dimensions, which are efficiency and fair share. Efficiency. When something is efficient, it means it's not possible to make someone better off without making someone else worse off. It means you use your highest ability and you can't get better or you can't get something more without affecting someone or something else. Let's return to our example. His highest profit is 1 million. He is in efficiency state. He can't get higher profit without affecting someone. If he wants profit more than 1 million, he will need to reduce employee salary or he will need to increase the prices of the product. So he may affect employees or his customers in order to get more than 1 million. Then moving to the second dimension, which is fair share, which means that social interests should benefit the society in a fair way. Let's return to the question: do choices made in the pursuit of self interest also promote the social interest? Which means that is the choice that we chose can be both self and social interest, which also means that is it best for me and for the society or no? Here I have reached the end of the first part of Introduction to Microeconomics.